Look at what happened with Sam. He got into the company. He worked 2 weeks for free. That is having skin in the game, and he had actual skin in the game because he was now given equity and rose to become COO. That's huge. That all started with guts. So 2 exits, and now you founded another company. You're CEO and you're running it. But what I always say is when people look up to people like you, who's a serial entrepreneur, who is an author, who's a speaker, who's done so many things, they see you on top of a mountain and they think that, oh, that guy has climbed that mountain, a mountain of successes. But really, entrepreneurs like you and me, we know that we're standing on top a mountain of failures, right? We've failed so much, but it's just the thing of us getting up again, being so resilient and trying again, learning from our failures. And so in reality, we are standing on top of our failures. Let's talk about failure. You say failure made you learn a lot of what works and what doesn't. What's your advice to people who are afraid to fail?
There is so much. I don't know where to even start. There's so much to talk about. I definitely have a lot more failures. It's like, it's just like, I think it's a quote from Michael Jordan or Kobe Bryant. It's like, you miss they've missed a lot more shots, or they've missed millions of shots that they've taken. But it's just that so happens that they take a lot more shots at the ring or the hoop, basketball hoop. And that's what the difference is. So it's just that I've taken a lot more shots, and just like you have. And so we have faced failure, but you just move on and you learn from it and you adapt from it. And so to give you some real life examples, I've been in New Zealand nearly 18 years. And over those 18 years, I have applied for hundreds and hundreds of jobs and never got a single one just from applying. So every opportunity or every business that I've owned is through people. And so it's what I've learned is it's not what you know, but who you know that works. And at the end of the day, doesn't matter how technologically advanced our society gets, people work with people. And that's what we need to realize. So we need to work with people, we need to build a relationship, we need to engage with people and provide value to them, or bring a smile to their face, kind of a thing. So working with people, networking with people. So I used to do a lot of offline networking. Now I do a lot more online. And hence I am reaching out to you and doing things like this. So
Awesome.
So that's one of the thing I learned. And so whenever I'm going to start a business or do anything, I'm still going to use or leverage my connections or my people connections. So yeah.
Got it. So when you applied like 100 jobs, right? How did
Or
it feel
probably
like?
500.
500.
Over,
Oh my
over
goodness.
18, and without failing, so every time I'd make a unique covering letter and a unique CV, but I'd never get a job. So then the only thing was for me to start my own business, kind of a thing.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So if you don't get any job, start your own thing.
Yeah.
And that's when I started.
It is so interesting for me that you tell us you have 500 pretty much rejections from your job applications, and that's tough, right? So you got 500 no's. What happened to your 2 yeses that became exits? How did you get into that pharma company, and how did you get into that esports company? Can you tell us the story?
Absolutely. Okay. So these 500 rejections are for these 500 were the jobs that were advertised in online job websites like Seek. I don't know if you have Seek there, or just our newspaper back in those days. So these were the advertised jobs. The
Mhm.
the two yeses I got were through, these weren't advertised at all. There was no opportunity in them. The first one, someone introduced me. So I was doing consulting on the side, growing businesses on the side. Someone recommended me to this pharma company. So I went to them and I said, hey, let's work for a month. And if you like what I do with your business, if I can really grow it, I can show it, give me a part in your company. Then, it's in my benefit also to keep growing it. And that's exactly what happened. I gave them phenomenal results, so that I managed to take more and more stake over time in that company, because the company got more and more reliant on me. After that exit, the second one, once again, I was applying for jobs everywhere and I was pretty much unemployable, because everyone says that, hey, you always owned a business, you won't
Yeah.
last, or why do you want to work for us? So if I just applied for a job that was advertised in newspaper or an online job website, I would just get a no, or sometimes they wouldn't even write to me. Most of the times they'd
Yep.
be just silence. So I found, okay, then I decided what's the industry I want to go in, found the right companies, and I thought, okay, I found this company and I thought I can work with them and I can really add value to them. I can really grow it, really scale it. So then I contacted their CEO. I found him on LinkedIn, which is very easy to find anyone on
Mhm.
LinkedIn. And as expected, he didn't reply. So then I
Mhm.
found him on Facebook. I searched for him, pretty much like stalked him online, and I messaged him on Facebook. No one replies to anonymous messages on Facebook, so he
Yeah.
didn't reply. Then I found his email address from somewhere and I emailed him. And once again, as expected, he didn't reply. Then I just, Googled someone's name, and then I found that where he was going to a conference or a
Mhm.
sort of an event, physical event. So I went to that event, and during the lunch or the dinner break
Mhm.
during that event, I went and I cornered him and said, like, hey, I'm the guy who's been pestering you, who's been bugging you. I can do really cool things for your company. I can really scale it. How about I work for you for 2 weeks for free? If you like what I'm doing with your, of how I'm promoting your company and growing it, give me a give me a chance. If not, we go our own ways. No risk for anyone. So he
Yeah.
said, cool. And then did really good work for them. Gave a lot of value for made like created a lot of value for that company, that they got once again reliant on me, and
Yeah.
I over time managed to get a small stake in it and
That's
became
awesome.
chief operating officer. So yeah, so it's like you will get no's in life, but
Yeah.
you just have to position. So bit just very similar to your story, like where no one would give you a job, so you have to make your own job in a way.
Yeah, I was virtually unemployable. 28 failing units. No one fails that much in IT in college, and pretty much I wouldn't get accepted in a lot of job openings, so I had to start my own business as well. But it's super interesting. You showed guts right there, and that's what a lot of people today need to have. You have to have guts. You have to have grit. Just keep on doing what you're doing. I mean, you got rejections on all platforms, on SMS, on email, on Facebook, on LinkedIn, you name it. But you still took the time to search about this guy, to research about him, know where he's going, and ambush him there. And I know a lot of people would say, "Oh, I'm not going to do that." But hey, look at what happened with Sam. He got into the company. He worked 2 weeks for free. That is having skin in the game, and he had actual skin in the game because he was now given equity and rose to become COO. That's huge. That all started with guts. You have to have the guts to seize opportunities that you create. In Sam's case, he created that opportunity and he
Yeah.
seized
There,
it.
there was no job advertised there. So most of the jobs in New Zealand, I don't know about Philippines, do not get advertised. They go through people to people kind of thing. So you need to know people. And this is one of the way, when there were physical events. Now it's online. So, do
Yeah.
what we are doing in a way.
Yeah. Super awesome. Thank you for that
one
story,
one
Sam.
last thing I would like to add, just like everyone, I also worry about, what would people think, what
Mhm.
would people say. But that is one thing you have to give up if
Mm.
you are going to go ahead with this approach. Even
Yeah.
right now, if you're online and if you do post something, there is a small chance that people would say mean things. If you upload a video or if you
Yeah.
do something, people would put a negative comment, or
Yeah.
people won't be appreciative of it.
Yeah.
But that's fine. Doesn't matter. That
Yeah.
doesn't matter. You'd still there'd be still 10 other people who'd find it useful. So do it for them. And the same thing
Yeah.
applies. That
Yeah.
don't worry about what people will say.
Yeah. Yeah. And if you're doing something significant, you will encounter opposition. But if you're not doing anything significant, then you encounter zero opposition, right? So you have to choose where you want to be. You want to do something great, fine, but you're going to be encountering some no's, some naysayers. You might be encountering some people who would criticize you, would say mean things to you, but that just means you're doing something significant. You're changing something, you're rocking something. And that's what you did, Sam.